Do I 23 female warn my ex-boyfriend's 23M new girlfriend? Hi all, me 23F and my ex-boyfriend 23M broke up over 2 years ago. The relationship ended because I discovered he sent me nudes to other people. I filed a report and went through the court. He was found guilty and charged with sharing exploit content without consent. I did try and share this info with people but wasn't very vocal about it. His last almost girlfriend messaged me because she heard rumors something happened. I told her what happened and she dumped him. I don't believe this new girl knows, and I only know who she is because I was friends with her at one point a long time ago. Thank you. This is the message I sent her. Hey, I just released you and ex-boyfriend, or an item, and I just wanted to check he was honest with you about his DV charge I put against him. He took videos of me asleep and naked and distributed them on them to other people without my knowledge. You were always a beautiful lovely woman and I wanted to just make sure you knew. I hope you're well ex. I would probably tell her, be like, hey I know this sounds weird and hard to believe and like I'm looking for drama but I'm not. Here's what happened, here is the court document with the result. I'd leave words like compulsive liar out. You could say like he also lied a lot. I know this is a lot to take in and I don't expect anything from you. I just felt like you had a right to know. Post history. 21F, 20F, 23F within 1 year time span. Bro choose a proper age before trying to Karna farm skull. Dude sounds creepy ASF making vids of you in your sleep without your consent. It could go two ways, either she appreciates the warning and acts upon it, or she tells you to mind your own business and ignores it. Either way I'd appreciate someone telling me my current couple is both a criminal and a terrible person. I personally believe people have the right to know what they're signing themselves up for. If you feel you need to say something then say something. No, I understand what he did to you was awful and you want to protect other women, but how long can you realistically do this for? You can't spend your whole life watching him and warning women off. Ex-husband 31M reaching out to me 31F how do I say no thanks? A little backstory. I got married in 2016 at 22 years old in the Mormon church to my now ex. We were married for 3 years, together for 4. Our marriage began with a very traumatic event. His dad tragically passed away from a bike accident and was the ICU during our wedding. The day after our honeymoon the family decided to take him off life support. That kind of became the foundation of our marriage. I had never been through a death like this. I did my best to meet his needs during his time of grief and would justify certain actions because of his trauma, grief. How could I invalidate his feelings? Through the years red flags appeared. When discussing having children he told me I couldn't have anyone in the labor room with us. No friends, not my mom, not my sister. Just us. I did give him pushback saying that I would at least need my mom there. I'm Brazilian, and I am very close with my family. The conversation turned into a fight about how I got the wedding I wanted and he wasn't going to budge on this. Especially knowing how important being a dad is him now that his dad has passed. He would use Bible verses like, leave thy father and thy mother and cleave unto thy spouse. I remember I was the one who ended up apologizing for wanting my mom in the labor room with us. It felt like I was the only one apologizing the whole marriage. When I knew something wasn't right and would ask him for an apology he was able to manipulate the conversation to where it ended up being me feeling bad about whatever we were talking about and I would apologize. We went to couple therapy through the church and he did individual therapy, but sometime later his therapist moved. I asked him if he was going to find another one because it seemed to really help him. He stated that he knows all the information he needs to know and when he does go to therapy he is told he is doing exactly what he is supposed to be doing, so why waste time when he has all the tools? Fast forward to 2019, I was working at a psychiatric institute and had a great friend group there, but I was getting ready to quit because we bought various flights to a bunch of countries since we wanted to start traveling. We dropped a lot of money on this. One of my coworkers had already been working there 1.5 years and her and I just grew close. I was able to vent to her about my marriage and we would talk about our sex lives with our partners to each other. I learned the term, gaslighting, from her. I was grateful she had my back and I could confide in her. One day me, this coworker, and other female coworker went to watch a horror film at the theater and during the movie she kept asking if I was okay and we held hands because I was genuinely disturbed and freaked out by the movie Tears of Joy, but after that something changed. I felt a sexual chemistry between this coworker and I that I had never felt before. This led to me having a faith crisis and telling my husband I may be attracted to women, which he replied, that's hot. Things went downhill from there. He gave consent for me to get to know this coworker and would check our texts and would let me know if certain things were okay or not. We discussed me kissing her but did not come up with boundaries. He also came up with the idea of me watching gay porn. With no set boundaries, lines were blurred and I cheated. I ended up kissing this coworker twice and lying about it to him. Yes, I knew it was wrong, but I was so miserable and she was there for me. I confessed to him and got called every name in the book. He told me I had to go tell my parents, which I couldn't, so he told them that I had an affair with a woman. We went on one trip to Peru to see if we could make it work, and I was absolutely awful. All I could think about is this coworker and how I felt when I was with her. I wasn't comfortable around him anymore and all I could offer was sex. I didn't know what to do and found a therapist because he told me to. We separated and came up with rules that I could go on dating apps and talk to women online, but I couldn't go on actual dates. As well as I can't contact my coworker. He was allowed to go on dating apps but also go on dates. He went on 2-3 dates while we were separated that I know of. A big thing for me was during our marriage I would ask him to do certain things which he refused to do. Some examples. Brushing his teeth twice a day, wearing a seatbelt, and one that really hurt my feelings because it involved putting on a topical medication on my back due to discoloration, something I was insecure about. He refused to do all of those things. With the medication he said the smell was nasty and wouldn't touch it, not even with a glove. Also said he wouldn't sleep in the same bed as me if I put it on. Back to August 2019. When he realized he was going to lose me, he listed all these things I asked him to do and said he would do all of them for me, begging me to not end our marriage. Crying and apologizing for how he treated me, but we were 3 years in and I was done emotionally and mentally. The one thing I regret was not asking for the divorce. He actually did. I know it was very hard and painful for him to do that when it should have been me. I should have done it. We divorce in October of 2019. He remarries another woman who is also Brazilian 5 months later, March of 2020. During this time he becomes an influencer and moves to Brazil. In 2022 a friend of mine sent me a video he posted of a video slideshow with a song where the lyrics are about a woman being unfaithful along with various photos of him when he was miserable, which also included a picture of me and him. My face was hidden. And it ends with photos of his now wife and how happy he is. From our divorce until this day I have not posted anything online about him. I did a put a finger down challenge on TikTok about our marriage right when we divorced but deleted it a couple of days later, but since then I have no reached out nor cared to. Fast forward to June 2025, I receive a message on Instagram from his verified account, but the message looked so bizarre I wondered if it was spam. He wrote, "Hey, $2 or a mystery message in your DMs? Lol, this may sound crazy, but would you be open to talking in a video chat?" I ignored this message. That same week I find out through the Brazilian community that he divorced his second wife. 2 days ago I received another message, this time on Facebook Messenger, that says, "Hi. I know this sounds loco, but would you be willing to talk sometime? I had a really sweet experience the other month and would like to share it with you. I'm so curious to know what he has to say, but I absolutely do not want to talk to him. I don't care enough to know. I don't want him to hold any more space in my life and I don't want him to get the satisfaction of getting my attention." How to respond? The way we ended our marriage was awful and traumatic for the both of us, and now 6 years later he wants to talk? Within these past 6 years I left the Mormon church, came out as bisexual, and in May of 2020 to this day I have been with said movie theater coworker Smile. We have built an amazing life together with our 2 dogs and cat. Both went to nursing school together and have made good progress with my parents, who are still very much active in the church and don't support our relationship but has been respectful. 5 years together and I'm still crazy and in love with her. I don't want my ex to have any access to my life. I don't want to share anything with him. You know you can block him, right? You don't even have to respond. Just block him, or politely remind him that you are not interested in hearing from him. Also, that message sounds spammy. It might not even be him who sent it. His account might have been taken over by scammers and they're just trying to figure who they can target next. From a dude's perspective, block him and forget about him. Don't respond. You were miserable then, you're happy now. Don't give him any more energy. Block him and move on. Do you genuinely gaff what he has to say? Block. It's not clear whether you actually had a child with him or not. Obviously, if there is a child involved, he needs to be involved too. But if you never even made it as far as the delivery room, you don't need to respond to this at all. My boyfriend, 18 male, tells me, 18 female, to communicate, but when I do he says I'm arguing. Last night my boyfriend asked what was wrong, and I told him. I wasn't shouting or being aggressive. I was literally just trying to talk about how I felt, like he always says he wants. But as soon as I started explaining, he said, "I'm not arguing," and it completely shut me down. I went to sleep upset, woke up the same, and now he's asking again what's wrong. I told him, I tried to talk last night, but you made it seem like I was arguing, so what's the point? He replied, I didn't think it was that meaningful, and then, I didn't think it was that deep tbf. Now he's sending me Instagram stories about having to deal with my mood. Which just feels like he's minimizing everything again and making it about him dealing with me, when he's the one who didn't listen. I told him I've muted his notifications until tomorrow because this has been going on since last night. How do you keep trying to communicate when it always ends like this? Throw the whole man out, tears of joy. You don't. He doesn't want to communicate. Classic. Communicate, but only if it's easy and doesn't actually challenge me. Dude's not ready to hear you, just wants to control the narrative. You're not overreacting, you're just talking to a wall that calls talking, arguing. Keep your distance till he figures out how to listen. You're both 18? Yay, throw his ass out, he's a fucking jerkwad. I'm dealing with this right now, trust me, I get how it feels. If you say how you feel, then you get met with, you're overreacting, stop moaning. You always want to start an argument. We've been so good, why do you want to ruin that? And if you don't say how you feel, talk to me, what kind of relationship are we gonna have if you don't tell me how you feel, or he gets angry at you? It's so exhausting. And honestly, I think the right conclusion is, if you're with the right person, then they wouldn't treat you like that. When men love you, they want to hear why you're upset so they can stop doing whatever it is that hurts you. They wouldn't get angry at you for being upset, not even a friend would treat you like that. So why are you letting someone who is supposed to love you? Communicate. No, not like that. Girl, you can't win. My 21M girlfriend, 21F, refuses to acknowledge double standards. My girlfriend and I have been together for just over a year. Earlier in the relationship, she has said she wasn't comfortable with me smoking with friends, or even on my own unless she was there. I didn't necessarily agree, but I respected it and held back because it mattered to her. I begin to notice I made a lot of naive mistakes at the beginning of this relationship, and have let quite a few unfair things slide. Today she told me, over text, she's planning to get high with her friends. I said that's totally fine, I'm not trying to control her, I just asked to be kept in the loop and mentioned that it felt like a bit of a double standard, since I was told not to do the same thing in the past. She got upset and called me pathetic. She also told me she won't be keeping me in the loop anymore, and that it was a courtesy that she even told me in the first place. When I brought up the inconsistency, she said it's not a double standard, and that if I ever have a problem with something, it can't just be because she had a problem with it first, I need to have my own reasoning. To be very clear, I really don't care about her smoking with her friends. I do, however, hate the feeling of not having the freedom to do the same thing she allows herself. I would really appreciate some advice on improving how we communicate about boundaries and fairness in our relationship. She called you pathetic. Those are breakup words. She doesn't even respect you, man. TBH, if my girlfriend would call me pathetic, and says that she wouldn't keep me in the loop anymore and calls it a courtesy that she even told me something at all, it'd break up on the spot. This is disrespect on so many levels. Back to your question though. The way you described it, you did everything right, and you can't really improve what you're doing because she is the one acting unfairly, while simultaneously being the one that can't communicate. She should make this post, not you. You can try to talk about it again in person on a calm day, but if she reacts like this again, it legit say think about breaking up. It's not worth to keep a relationship with someone that neither willing to communicate nor to improve. She sounds hypocritical and disrespectful, honestly. Not only is there double standards here clear as day, but she's invalidating your feelings after respectfully bringing up a concern. There's a level of respect she's not treating you with. You need to have a proper discussion about your boundaries with each other. It would be a big red flag if she again tries to dismiss it. I was in a similar situation with my ex, her doing what she wanted and treating me with no respect. One day I asked myself, do I feel safe to open up to her? And that's when I decided to leave her. Best decision I made. Not saying that you should do the same, but definitely ask yourself that question. You both adults, so don't beat around the bush. Double standards are a big red flag and you objections are just. You just got to be straight and state, I will not tolerate double standards. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Basically, don't let an uneven power dynamic be created. Also, I live in England, so for less than £150 GBP I can go to Amsterdam for the weekend. Flights and accommodation. I would probably be petty in a one-year relationship being talked to like I'm some sort of court. So go and smoke with your friends.